Alright everybody, welcome back to the KCM. How you doing, my Broodwar brothers? Hope you're feeling fine. It is time for week 8 of our favorite tournament. Let's bring up the lineup for you. We've got Light JYJ Barracks versus YSC Tyson Movie. Sulky, Soma, and Shine are our Zerg representatives here. You can tell that I did not practice this intro. I just got home from work, and I am super excited to jump into this first game. We've got JYJ versus Tyson. Not a very well-known player, not a very well-known player at all. But we can bring him up. This is the place to start those dreams, to begin the saga. It'll put you in the history books here for Broodwar. If you want to make a name for yourself, you gotta impress your teammates, you gotta impress your fellow pro gamers in a big tournament like this. Even though it is online, it's not a 1 versus 1 tournament. Everybody here is watching. We've got a ton of players. All your teammates are watching. Millions of fans are watching as well. Well, maybe not millions. Broodwar is not that big anymore, unfortunately. But I think it's due for a comeback. Absolutely. Anyway, a lot of pressure. YSC is watching, Movie's watching, Sulky, Soma, Shine, Light JYJ Barracks. Everybody's watching this matchup and trying to figure out, trying to gauge Tyson's skill level here. It is one thing to do well in practice and to do well on the ladder, but it's another thing completely to do well under pressure like this, under scrutiny of the fans. In a best of 1 like this, there is a ton of pressure to perform. We've seen many players break under that pressure. We'll see if Tyson follows suit. I have to get used to this name here. I definitely think that perhaps Scan is a good example of players that have broken under this pressure. We've seen him come out multiple times in KCM and just never even get off the ground from the beginning of the game. He's always been getting rushed, getting tilted, getting thrown out of the game early. And that's really unfortunate. It doesn't say too much about his overall skill in this game, but it might say something about his ability to work under pressure. And that's what's really required to excel at this highest level and to win tournaments like the ASL. And that's really the main way of making money as a pro gamer. Of course, there's always streaming and small matchups, paid matchups that can net you some money, but the main way to make that cash is, of course, to win these major tournaments. Now, JYJ, he's hiding a Marine here. He's continuing to produce those Marines. He's got a single factory and no command center. He doesn't have the money for that, so this is a bit of a fake out here. And he's going to come out and put some pressure on Tyson. That Nexus is coming down. And a robotics facility immediately after. Does he have range here? Didn't get a look at that cybernetic score. But you can bet your butt that JYJ was keeping careful eye on that. Okay, yes. We have the range, but did it start after that robotics facility? It's still spinning right now. He peeks forward, and I think he was able to see no command center there, but I'm not sure. This tank coming out, getting 3 shots on that Dragoon, almost gets the kill as well. No reaction thus far from Tyson, and a huge wave of Marines and tanks coming across the map. He's going to pull some SCVs as well. Well, just one so far. But I think that JYJ can just crush Tyson here. Double gateway to follow up. He's going to try his best to hang on long enough for that additional production to kick in, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. That range still not done, and here comes the attack. JYJ just rushing forward. Not a quick reaction from Tyson either. He does manage to pick off that first vulture there very quickly, but he will lose this Nexus. All of the probes have evacuated. Vulture gonna get some mines right up here in the front as well. Will he try to break this ramp? This is a wild move by JYJ. He gets one of the Dragoons and loses only a single Vulture, but this is really risky. So many missed shots here from those tanks. They are the DPS backbone here for this army. Of course, the Marines are going to put out quite a bit of DPS, but you really want to hit those tank shots, and missing 50% means a ton of missed hits. Here comes the Vulture, going to throw down these mines here. We do have some Dragoons popping out, but the mine hit lands on top of that tank, and the rush here from JYJ is about to end. Is he going to get the Nexus? I think he should be able to do so with only 1 Dragoon remaining. However, this push up into the main base really cost him there. A single tank plus the opportunity here for Tyson to try to fight back. There we go. Does finish off this Nexus. Kind of a crisis averted there for JYJ, who, if he pushed up that ramp and for instance, Tyson drilled perfectly on top of all those units and with a bunch of probes and just nailed them all, just killed everything, he might have been able to save that Nexus, and that would put JYJ in a really rough spot. Now, as things stand, JYJ is in good position here. He's got mines at each expansion location, so the usual move for the Protoss would be to double expand in this kind of situation here that he's found himself in, but he's not going to have that option for now. 4 Vultures going to try to break up this ramp. That's very difficult to pull off. Oh, gets up here on top of the ramp, and he will be able to pick off a bunch of probes. Not able to bait the Dragoon into that mine, unfortunately, but so many probes are going to go down here, and this is really, I think, the nail in the coffin here for Tyson. 6-kill Vulture, doesn't even target there at the end, but that's more than enough damage here for JYJ to take an immense lead in this game. 55 to 37. Looking at that supply count, this is nearly unsalvageable, this game, and I wouldn't feel bad for, I wouldn't feel robbed here if Tyson decided to just tap out and GG right now, but he's gonna stick in it. Of course, this is his one chance. Maybe something crazy can happen, but JYJ is a really solid Terran player. I don't think he'll allow this win to escape. Just going to play nice and carefully, get those 5 factories up, get himself into a nice position. If he thinks that Tyson is under expanding, then he'll expand himself. If he thinks Tyson is over expanding, he'll come out here and crush his face. And that's pretty much how the rest of this game is going to go. Citadel coming down now for Tyson. Is he going to go for just 2 base Arbiter? That looks like it's going to be the plan here. Well, you can see JYJ just about ready to move out already. He is taking up some of the map at a point in time where generally the Terran player is going to be kind of cowering in their natural, waiting for the Protoss player to make a move, to use Reavers or to try to break in the front. Right now, JYJ is just heading across the map here. He's in full control. He's going to set up mines on his flanks to make sure that he doesn't have any surprises coming his way as this attack commences. Tanks are moving into position towards this natural. Right at the moment when Tyson splits his forces and have to bring the rest of his Dragoons back, but this is a crazy number of tanks to battle with just pure Dragoon. 6 tanks will just ravage this Dragoon number. We've got the Dragoons making their way around the tanks, but GG is called. JYJ takes our first win of the night. Tyson is eliminated. His debut here on KCM was a short one. We hope we see him again, though. He continues to work hard to try to improve. Best of luck to him. Let's get into the next game. Oh my goodness. Shine versus JYJ is our next matchup, and look at this, a 4-pool from Shine. And this guy is such a scumbag, Zerg. I was really sold on him when he did well in the ASL. Of course, he eventually lost to Flash in the finals, but why you gotta do JYJ like this, man? You gotta go for a 6-pool. We are here on Forte. We'll see if JYJ can set up some sort of defense here. A Ling-type wall. I don't think he can do it with the barracks in that position. Maybe the supply depot above the barracks. I think that actually is a tight wall, but wow, Shine actually even sending out a drone right now. He's got to find out where JYJ is. He's going to find out with that Overlord, so he won't need to continue scouting with that drone, but he might want to mine out these minerals. There's a couple of mineral patches here. They've only got a few minerals. I don't remember the exact number, but it's more than one return. You've got to send a drone, I think, at least twice in order to mine that out. Oh man, JYJ sending out 2 SCVs to scout and barely missing these Lings coming straight towards his natural. Oh, 1 Marine. He can't block. Oh man, that block. So unfortunate. These 2 SCVs do end up missing the mark there, and another Marine pops out, but the surrounding here pretty good. Wow, good movement by JYJ to keep that Marine alive for this long. However, the Marine does go down. Another Marine gonna pop out. Oh, immediately gets picked off, and this is it. JYJ gonna have to tap out here. He's got nothing at home. He's got no choice but to give up. 6-pool win from Shine. Wow, this is a very different week of KCM than the previous. I think you can tell just by looking at the lineup here, but this is going incredibly fast, faster than I ever would have thought. Shine takes a win with a 6-pool. What a wild man. Okay, so up next, moving along very quickly, we've got Movie versus Shine. Gonna get in here and get a nice scout off on what Shine is doing. Probe after that pylon, so likely we're going to see a Nexus first here out of Movie. Spawning pool is already down though, so may end up having to change his plans. Perhaps going for a Forge first. No, still not sending out that probe, so feeling confident to take a Nexus first. That seems a little bit wild here. We'll see if Movie can pull it off. Movie has been around for a very long time, so I do not doubt his understanding here in this matchup. He is a very storied player here in Broodwar. Was extremely prolific in the Kespa era. Had a lot of great games in the Ever OSL, MSL. Played alongside a lot of players like Hero, Snow, Much. Had plenty of rough games against Flash. But he's back now, playing once again and at a high level. We'll see what he's able to bring out here for us. No links being produced just yet for Shine, so Shine with the Overlord in position recognizes not going to be able to get any damage done with that, or with early links, so forgoes them completely. It's going to allow Movie to continuously harass here a little bit with the probe, keep hitting some drones, but overall I think it's a good thing for Shine, as he's able to just make kind of a crazy number of drones here in the early game. You don't really see this type of build very much in Protoss or Zerg versus Protoss anymore, because the Protoss, it's so popular right now to just build a gateway in the front and continuously harass, so a lot more lings are made and a lot fewer drones are produced in the early game. But in this case, just pure drone able to come out right now. A single Zealot heading around the left side there, avoiding the vision of this Overlord. We'll see if that takes Shine by surprise at all. I doubt that it will, because you just kind of imagine a Zealot will be headed out on the map here. He is being incredibly greedy though. Let's see if any Zerglings are popping. Yeah, there we go. A couple of lings pop out here at the third. One does get picked off. That was a nice pick off by Movie. Shine tried to pull back, but good moving and attacking by Movie. That drone almost got sniped there. And the second Zealot going to make its way into the natural. Shine focusing on preventing that movement. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there. Movie losing that first Zealot for basically nothing, and the second Zealot goes down immediately after. Wow, a good hold here by Shine, who hasn't produced too many lings. I think he's got quite a few, but he will be able to get directly back into that drone production, and any further excursions here by Movie should just get shut down completely. Oh, a run by straight up into the main, a single probe, all that was in that position to block the pretty wide entrance there to his natural. So another mistake here by Movie, gonna cost him dearly, and he has to produce a cannon up here in the main just to keep his probes alive. That's going to slow him down even more. Another probe gets taken out as well, so more damage coming down in favor of the Zerg player. This Overlord shouldn't end up getting picked off, and the Corsair has got to get out of here pretty quickly. Otherwise, the Scourge are going to meet their, or hit their mark. Ooh, very, very close, but the Scourge will not connect. Corsair pulled back just barely in time. Would have been really an unforgivable error there by Movie if he had lost that first Corsair. At this level of play, would not be surprised at all to see Shine just overwhelmed with Scourge and Muta should that happen. Now +1 is done. With the speed, going to be running straight across the map. We'll see what kind of damage he can do. He's already lost a couple of Zealots there in the early game, and this... Oh man, that's not a perfect wall. Uh-oh, I think that Shine thought that was a perfect wall, and it just was not. Some Hydras do pop out, but getting picked off pretty darn quick. That Sunken dies immediately. Only gets a single hit off, but finally Shine will clean up. And these Zealots spilling across the map, they will be picked off. There's quite a few Lings just behind this, so they should be able to surround here and end this early Zealot aggression. Not much progress made by Movie so far. A slight mistake there by Shine. It's understandable. This is a newer map. It's hard to figure out exactly which buildings will be tight against which walls. You can see 3 lurkers being produced right now. Yeah, a really big gap between the Hydra Den and that wall, so you should be able to tell, but it's harder than it looks. It really is harder than it looks to figure out whether that wall will work or not. Now, Spore Colony here, trying to keep these Overlords alive. Nice moves so far by Shine, just keeping the Scourge around, not actually engaging with the Scourge, but ready to engage just in case. Ooh, all of these Overlords gonna fall though. Oh, Scourge actually do connect. There's a few kills, but a ton of Overlords went down there. I think 5 or 6 Overlords ended up falling. That's really, really painful for Shine, who's now banging at this wall. He's got a couple of lurkers at the front. That's not going to make it through this wall, most likely. The robotics facility is already on the way, but it's very annoying. Very, very annoying to Movie's game plan here. Lurker in this location as well with the Spore Colony. That's straight death for this DT. DT does manage to get a couple of kills. Actually, it's at 10 kills now, so quite a few of those Lings got picked off earlier by the Stark Templar. He's going to start working on some of these eggs, but he's done a good job of picking off drones so far and just being overall very annoying to the Zerg, slowing him down as much as possible. Going to get this egg as well. Overlord finally does pop out. Can he get a couple more drones here? 1 drone. Just a single extra drone here, and these lurkers will be forced back. Surprising that he managed to pick off the gateway and forge there, but +1 armor did finish, so we do have 2 upgrades done. That means that the upgrade that was spinning in the forge when that lurker attack started, that upgrade did manage to finish, so that's great news for Movie, who's now moving across the map with, I think, some DTs in this shuttle. He's going to combine an attack of Zealots in the front with a DT drop. This can be such an effective attack. Oh, it's a Zealot, pure Zealot here. 3 Zealots coming into the main. Let's see how much damage they can get done. Is Shine paying attention? He's moving stuff at the front of his base, not... Oh, the storm! Oh, Movie with the sick moves. I was wondering what that 4th unit was inside the shuttle. That was a beautiful, beautiful harassment technique displayed perfectly here by Movie. That was amazing, actually. I really love that attack, and the Spire goes down as well. What a sick, sick move by Movie. Forcing those drones to stack up as they were being rotated to another base away from those Zealots. He just drops the Templar and kills them all. Now he's pushing here into the natural. A ton of Overlords going down. And there's just not much here besides a couple of Spore Colonies. And those won't be doing much damage to this ground army. Couple of storms here just annihilating the Hydras. GG. Movie with the special tactics takes it away. A really cool display there by Movie. Hope we see more moves like that in the future. Big thumbs up there from KCM. That was really, really cool to see. And Movie will move on to the next round. All right, up next we've got Barracks. He's here in the top right of Eclipse, going up against Movie in the bottom left. Barracks. Good old Barracks. He's been around for a little while. I think he's had 4 appearances in ASL group stages. But he's just always been a little shy of the really top echelons of Terran players. So I feel like this is a good matchup here. We've got the old pro Movie, who has been a little bit out of sorts for quite a long time, has been out of the scene for quite a long time, going up against this more new age player who is on the way up, we'll say, but hasn't quite reached that really high level of Terran play that we expect out of people like Rush or Light or even JYJ. We'll see how he does here. Getting the scout on. Gonna check out Movie's base. Everything looking pretty quick here. Looks like a gateway into Nexus. And maybe even skipping... Oh no, that's the Zealot coming up towards the Natural, isn't it? Yes, Zealot coming here into the Natural. No skip on that Zealot. Just gonna be blocked here by Barracks. Couple Marines on the top of the ramp, plus SCV, not a problem. Gonna push that away. And a Vulture will be popping out here momentarily, but Dragoon should be following shortly. Second gateway on the way. No Dragoon just yet. Full pull of the SCVs. Here he comes. That's quite a lot of SCVs to be pulled at this moment. Wow, a real committal here from Barracks. He wants to kill this Nexus, and he probably should be able to do it. 12 SCVs here. 4 or 5 Marines as well, plus a couple of Vultures. A nice pick off there on one of the SCVs. One being sent back home, so a total of 11 here, ready to fight. Movie pulling up towards the top. Could get cut off here. Nope, he's going to make a quick turnaround and blocking pretty well. One Marine goes down immediately. Could he get us around on the Dragoon? Oh, just slipping out barely. That Dragoon was just about trapped there. The Dragoon doing a good job here of running away, making sure that he buys as much time as possible. This Dragoon gonna pop out here. 3 Marines are ready to go, so let's see this fight. SCVs are a little late to the party here, and the Dragoon from the rear is going to throw a wrench into things. Does get taken out. Can he block the ramp here? Can he block the ramp? No, he can't. Not able to block these Dragoons down that ramp and get maximum damage, but he will set up this bunker, and the Nexus should be going down. Ooh, a great surround on this Dragoon, but the Marine goes down. Now there's no Marines to go inside this bunker. Here we go. Get one more Marine down there. There we go. Marine in the bunker. A lot of SCVs have gone down, though. One more Dragoon does fall. Another SCV falls, and that's a full 12 SCVs that have fallen. Last Vulture gonna try to run by here. Ooh, great. Doesn't get the miss shot there, and manages to take out every single Vulture in this fight. A beautiful hold by Movie. Pretty aggressive there. Pretty balls to the wall by Barracks. Trying to get up that ramp is generally never a good idea, and it backfires heavily here. Barracks loses all his Marines, doesn't get his Marines in that bunker, and does not kill the Nexus. Not even close. And now Movie making a pretty interesting call here. Gonna run around the outside of this map down along the bottom path and try to make his way around, but looks like Barracks is wise to this. He knows that these Dragoons are coming, so he's got some mines being placed back here. Sending one Dragoon forward first. He's going to try and eat as many mines as he can. Let's see if he can take this fight. If he takes one step forward, he's going to lose all of these Dragoons. Oh! Oh! Oh, another one! Oh my goodness. Movie losing quite a bit here for not very much. There we go. Picks off one of these mines. Just barely out of range here of that actual command center. But a good surround here by Barracks, and he finishes off that force. A lot of lost Dragoons there for very little return. Movie kind of throwing the ball back into Barracks' court a little bit here. He was in a firm advantage after fending off that attack, and I still think he's... Oh my goodness. I was saying, I still think he's good here. He's still okay, but Barracks gonna take a huge risk right now. Oh my goodness, Stargate as well. This is playing into Barracks' favor so well. Throwing down that command center at the third base. Movie simultaneously drops his Stargate, so Movie is going to be teching very hard here. He's prepared for drops coming in, but he is not prepared for this play. He is not getting his forces out on the map to place pressure on this double expanding Terran player. A really risky third base coming out of Barracks, but it's not so risky if Movie is teching heavily right now, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to be getting into most likely Arbiter. Two base Arbiter here. He spots this command center though with his observer, so the secret has been let out. Movie knows about this play, and he is going to start to get aggressive now, but is it going to be enough? He has already spent a lot of resources into Carrier. Okay, Carrier coming here. Two base Carrier. That's going to take a lot of time to ramp up. Can he get over here and stop this third base from going down? It looks like he should be able to break this third base at least. There's no defense at that location. All he need to do is walk up there and take out that base. There's no siege mode here either, which is really unfortunate right now for Barracks. He got incredibly greedy after this early game, just trying to give himself a way back in here, but there's 6 Dragoons. They're ready to pounce. Tank gonna get picked off as well. Wow, that is a huge mistake for Movie. And with 6 Dragoons, can he actually pick off this command center? Command center immediate liftoff. But the 6 Dragoons come up here. They're going to target this down as quickly as possible. Can he actually get away here? Ooh, he needs to move his tanks over to this location, over to this wall here, and try to save it. He doesn't have the tanks over in this spot. And there's a shuttle here as well. Command center will fall. This play, this crazy quick third base from Barracks not paying off, not working out in the slightest. He loses that building. He is now supply blocked as well. Okay, just breaking that supply block, but this is a really tough situation now for Barracks. Had he been able to get that... Oh, wait a second. Look at this double starport. This game is full of surprises right now. Absolutely chock full of surprises. We've got double starport on the way for Barracks, so he's going to follow this up and by trying to counter these carriers completely. He must have gotten a good scan on there. I think that Movie has his observer in the base, though. Okay, it's right over top of these factories. If it moves back any further in this base... Oh, wait a second. Okay, one single starport. I thought that was double starport right there. Excuse me, guys. That is a command center beside the starport. My bad. Excuse me. We've got a third base on the way here for barracks. He's going to be expanding once again. He's going to try at least to expand. I don't know if he's actually aware of the game plan here from movie. This is a really long long distance mining here, insanely long distance mining right now. But movie's gonna get to work on that third base here pretty soon. He has double carrier coming right now. He's already got 2 out. He's going to get 4, no question about it. He will have 4 before any sort of attack comes. And he's actually going to push forward here and seek to take advantage of the early tech here by fighting with these carriers before the army even moves out. Carrier, just 2 carriers, not very strong at all. Very slow moving units. But they can be very helpful when it comes to picking off tanks in vulnerable positions. It's like diving on top of the carrier here, trying to pick that off. Does deal some damage to the shields at least. Now with the 4 carriers here, movie going to make a concerted effort to disturb this third base take, try to pick that off. We've got a shuttle here as well, so looking for some landed zealots on top of these units, on top of these tanks. Only a few Goliaths here, and this should be the moment where movie can crack this location. We'll see if barracks can pull off some sort of miracle defense here and stop this base from, keep this base going up right now. I doubt that it's possible, but he's gonna try his best. Those zealots doing a lot of damage to the SCV count of barracks. A lot of tanks and these Goliaths going down. I think this should be the GG moment. Barracks has no chance. Once these tanks get picked off, the Dragoons will clean up absolutely everything else. You can see those Goliaths being forced back. GG is called, and movie takes yet another victory here. Wow, a game that was full of twists and turns did end up ending before the turn could get that third base, so we don't get a long game here, but it was an interesting one. I think JYJ being a little too aggressive with his attack there in the early game, trying to get more value out of that attack, try to get up that ramp and just end the game, but it wasn't meant to be. Movie controlled excellently, handled that attack very, very well, flanking with that weakened Dragoon, really throwing a wrench into things, and he ends up holding on. He ends up taking that match, and he will move on to the next map with either Solki or Soma. Alright, on to our next game here. Soma versus movie. Soma spawning here in the top left. Movie warping in from Ire down to the bottom left. He is on a hot streak right now. Interesting fact about movie. On his Liquipedia page, it says that he took first place in a major tournament. It was called the COSL 6 in 1970. I think that might have been a typo there. Maybe, perhaps. I don't think he was born at that point, because he is only 31 years old now. And I'm 30, and I was not born in 1970, so a little bit of an issue there, I'm sure. Somebody can probably fix that at some point. Don't know how that snuck by, but looks like a couple links gonna sneak by here. Ooh, that cannon finished up at the last possible second, just as the lings were slipping by there. My goodness, that was unfortunate for Movie, who doesn't even have a pylon finished in the main now. Does finish up. Will he start a cannon here? He loses a probe. This is Soma control now. This is Soma time, baby. He is going to be dealing a ton of damage with these lings, keeping them out of harm's way at all times. Oh, he gets it. Bit of dancing there on top of that ling. Manages to go Movie's way, but he's already lost 2-3 probes at this point. He could even lose some more. He's gonna lose his gonna lose that scouting worker as well. Movie gotta knock the rust off here a little bit if he wants to take a game off of Soma. Might be a little tilted after that first couple of lings snuck by the cannon there. Movie's timing proving to be a little bit behind where Soma's at. This Zealot gonna fight very well, already picking off a single ling. Might even get a second, or a third, excuse me, but no. Soma picks that off. Stargate on the way here. And the second gas being taken already by Movie. Heading up towards this natural with the second Zealot, but plenty of lings here. Not going to be a problem for Soma. Aspire on the way as well. Looking good right now for Soma, who's dealt with both of those initial 2 Zealots and could end up running by here. Should he have ling speed on the way? If he's got ling speed on the way, there it is. Ling speed is finished. There's quite a few lings here. Only 1 Zealot in this wall and 1 single cannon. So he could potentially pick off this probe and then just go for the run by. Here he goes. He's focusing the probe. Running by here. He's going to jump on the cannon. Cannon's going down very quickly. There it is. Cannon falls and 3 lings manage to make their way into the main base once again. More probe damage is sure to come. Soma running circles around Movie here in this early game. We'll see if he can put the pieces back together before it's too late. Cannon here in the main mineral line. He's going to try to finish off these probes, or finish off these zealots, excuse me, in the main. The cannon there at the natural just about to finish up, but it will be canceled. Those links being produced at home are still streaming across here, and I think this may be the end for Movie, who can't even get a cannon up in his natural. Gonna lose a Zealot here as well. Probe, oh god, Probe's trying to defend this photon cannon. The Corsair is out, but this is it. All the probes are going to go down. They have to evacuate, and the natural has to be completely seated over to Soma at this point. Fighting just pure probe versus ling, not the best. Here's a DT at least, so maybe he can save this Nexus, but I don't think that he can save this game. That DT popping out at a very opportune time, just seconds before the pylon went down there and unpowered that gateway, so that's very lucky. But I don't think it's going to be enough. He needs to get over here and put a pylon down and a cannon in this natural, but there's not much opportunity to do so. Just adding on some drones now. Soma has the run of the entire map. He can do whatever he wants at this point. What he wants to do is start to damage this Stargate. Looks like he will lose quite a few lings here, but mutas are on the way, and the cannon has been cancelled. No cannon for you. Really unfortunate. Movie lost so many probes during that fight. Here comes the Scourge, gonna take down these Corsairs. 2 Corsairs do remain, but 2 or 3 of them have already fallen. Another Corsair going to go down here, and it's just 1 versus 1. Corsair versus Muta. Soma gonna back off for now, but he's already done his damage. Run by here into the main. Can he make it? Oh! Oh! Oh, but a... Oh, man. 14 kill, 15 kill DT. Makes it into the main, but gets picked off because of the Overlord popping at that location just in time for Soma to hold that off. And now I think all Soma need to do is just defend here, group his mutas together and kill this main base, or this natural base, excuse me, kill that cannon, kill all of these Corsairs, and he should be good to go. Ogre's Gamer will prevail, so long as no massive mistakes are made in the execution of this fight. Here we go, here comes that execution. There goes the cannon. One of the Corsairs was killed by that group of Scourge, and GG. Movie finally taps out after scoring 2 kills. He ends up being eliminated. 2 kills or 3 kills? 3 kills, actually. No, hold on. 3 kills? I guess 3 kills. He does get stopped, though, by Soma, and Soma will go on to that next match. That was fun. I think Movie did a really good job so far. Gave us a nice showing here in KCM. Hope to see him back again in the future. But for now, let's go on to that next game. Soma versus Light. Alright, next up, Soma versus Light. A classic matchup here at the KCM. We've seen these two duke it out over and over again. Light, the macro god of Terran, versus Soma, the most aggressive Zerg, if not the most aggressive player that we have in Broodwar. This should be a good match. Hopefully we'll see some new ideas come out here in this best of 1. It's a great place to pull out your sneak builds, test them on a pro in a single game format, and just see what works. See what works on these maps that are going to be in the ASL in the future. You might be able to grab a quick win, get some money, and also find out if that crazy build ends up working out, if it's possible. This moving shot is insane. Is he actually going to finish it off? He does. The tree blocks that SCV, and he will lose it. Oh, man. Oh. How is he actually getting away from this? This is crazy. I thought for sure that was about to go down, but Light is managing to make it a run here. He's going to lose that SCV eventually, though. There it goes down. Falls that first SCV. A great pickup here for Soki in the, or Soma, excuse me, in the early game. I predicted this week that Solki was going to have an all-kill. Unfortunately, he's been saved for in the last position, so he won't have that opportunity, but I'm hoping that he will be coming out at some point in this series. Basically, I'm wishing for Soma to lose. Just to put that out there. It's not so much that I want him to lose, I just want to see Solki play. Anyway, we've got a 2-hatch, most likely Muta build here from Soma. Try to pick off this SCV before he throws down the Spire. That will leave a bit of an unknown here in the mind of Light, if he manages to pick that off. So far, just stable. to push that away as he throws down his Spire. And Light will head on back home. He's content, knowing that there was no Hydralisk Den started before the lair was finished. And just sends that straight back to mining there at the edge of the mineral patch. Man, I would send that to the main, but he leaves it there. Right at the edge of the natural. Third base on the way here for Soma. We've seen players like Soma really experiment with this type of play a lot recently. Getting into a basically a 2.5 hatch. But instead of having the 2.5 hatch in the natural or the main base, throwing it down instead at a third base out on the map. Generally, with that third base, they end up getting the gas geyser and then solely mining off of that gas geyser. Not really getting too many drones on the mineral patches to start off with anyway, but just getting that gas kind of going, that's the limiting resource here for the Zerg player. So getting that gas going and then continuing to pump out mutas and becoming an absolutely monstrous muta player in that mid game. Instead of having just pure 2-hatch muta with that later base, they end up with a very, very powerful 3-hatch muta at an extremely early timing here with 3 gases. Gonna fly in here. The third is done now. So we'll see a drone pop out at that location, build a extractor, and then he will just build drones from that location until he has 3 before switching into full-on Mutalisk production. Quite a few opportunities here to pick off SCVs. A little bit of missed micro, but so far so good. Not losing a single Mutalisk just yet. And Light is still forced back into his base. This is a great map for Mutalisk harassment. That very annoying location over the natural. It's really frustrating to defend as a Terran player. We've got a Marine headed down to the bottom left. It's going to stim up and try to kill a drone or two if it can. Lings are already on the way down there, though. This is a move we've seen more and more from these Terran players, trying to pick off what they can with just a couple of split-off Marines from the group running down to that third base. But it looks like he's cleaned all that up, and Soma just going to engage here. This could go very wrong. There's not too many mutas left over. He does manage to finish off the remainder of the Marines, but the reinforcements here from Light too quick. He won't be able to pick off these medics. Nearly overwhelming, though, Soma with those Lings and Mutalisks, just about finishing off every single part of that first army that moved out. That can really start to swing things in your favor as the Zerg player if you pick off that original army. Queen's Nest is on the way now. The Hive will be soon to follow, and Soulkey has added on a few additional drones down in the bottom left. He knows he's not going to be able to crack through here without additional tech, so getting into that tech, but keeping the pressure on, keeping Light in his base as much as possible. He doesn't have a good position to defend his third base here. He just needs to bring the pressure as much as possible with his muta. No sunken colony over here, and Marines are headed across the map. There's a single muta here in the middle that gets picked off. Another muta does make its way back and escape from that incoming ball of Marine medic. We've got some Marines headed down to the bottom left. There's one more on the way here. Somehow able to actually see that Overlord. I don't know how that's possible, actually. How can that see the Overlord there. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but somehow it did. Now it's going to die to this Ling. A sad life, just barely managed to make his way to the bottom left and died without a purpose. Oh, man. Some good damage there on the Mutilus Swarm. Bunch of Marines go down in front of Light's base, though, and those were all the reinforcements he had on the way. That's some great volleys there from those Mutas as well, and I think that with this returning Mutaforce, he can overwhelm here. Big surround. Huge amount of Mutas descend on this army, and every single Marine and Medic gets taken out. Sulky seizing the victory there in the center of the map. Will have huge momentum on his side from this point on. A Valkyrie pops out, but way too little too late at this point. Lurkers are going to be on the way here momentarily. This Valkyrie, along with one or two others, would have been hugely impactful in that previous fight with that previous attack, but now impotent against this incoming army from Soma. Lurkers, some likely going to be some Defilers here very shortly as well. You can see Light's army is still so small. There's really no way for him to push out, and as these Lurkers come up and burrow, there'll be even less of a chance of him making his way out of this natural. And that should buy enough time here for a Defiler to come across. We'll see how Light deals with this, but I think Light is in a near unwinnable position now at this point. Defiler Mound is done. A Defiler is on the way at this moment, being constructed, being birthed from the egg there. And Soma's not even gonna wait for it. He's gonna run forward. This could be a big mistake. A lot of hits from these Lurkers hitting on the tank. And this bunker has survived way too long. The Mutas are really late here, finally flying in though. And it's just too much. Overwhelming numbers here. Really a miscalculated attack there. Not a very good execution on that final attack, but so far ahead, he just completely overwhelms those defenses and ends that game. Great job by Soma there. Some serious mistakes were made by Light. I think the timing of the Valkyrie was way off there. Didn't make any sense to move out while you're making a Valkyrie and take an engage where you could lose your entire Marine medic force. It's just so much stronger if you still have some of those Marine medic alive to pair with the Valkyries, because like we saw there, if you're using Valkyries in a defensive manner, the Zerg can just transition into Lurker and Defiler, and then you just don't have the Irradiates. Yeah, they're not very good. Valkyries are not very good against Lurkers, so that's what we saw there. We're going to go into the next game, guys. Let's keep it. Well, forgive me for saying so, but I don't think we're going to see another game after this. We are in game 7, YSC, spawning down here in the bottom right. What chances does he have against Soma? In a best of one, anything can happen. But I think Soma, for sure, going to be the favorite here. YSC starting out with that pylon on high ground. Probably going to be a gateway. And a gateway scout. There it is. Bit of pressure coming here from YSC in the early game. But Soma, honestly, one of the best players I have ever seen handle this type of early aggression. It was really popular here in the previous year. Gateway first, but Soma seemed to handle it and just from a different level. He was on a different level in terms of how he could handle this. He even found great ways to take advantage of the fact that Protoss players seem to be doing this really often. So I expect to see him, if not win the game here, he's probably going to trounce this early aggression, if I had to guess. YSC. I'm not sure why he decided to go for this build. Maybe this is the way that he plays most comfortably, and on this positioning, it's not too bad. Can get a nice wall in here. But it's probably not the best idea to go against Soma with this build. He is so goddamn good with that early link control. He just will not take damage from something like this. We don't have a third base on the way just yet. Soma yet to throw that down. So we'll see what he decides to do here. Okay, there goes the third drone, but man, this is going to be blocked here. Oh, just barely slipping by. Hold up. What did he turn around there for? Now he's not going to get it down, and he loses the drone. What? No way. Losing that drone is really, really rough. He could have absolutely thrown that down, but he was not expecting the probe at the top there. Nice pick off there with the probe. Snags that one single drone, and now already 2 drones have gone down, and my predictions turning out completely false here. Soma losing 2 drones to this early aggression, not able to get his third base up here in the early game. Has that coming down now at the natural, or the mineral only base, which is really suboptimal. Made a ton of links, and he probably won't get any damage done with those. So everything working heavily in the favor of YSC here in the early game. Things are looking pretty good. Looking pretty good for him. Hopefully he doesn't throw away this lead like he did previously last week. Or not last week, 2 weeks ago, excuse me. I believe that was against Rush. Anyway, I might be wrong about that, but he definitely threw a game away 2 weeks ago in KCM, taking an EMP right to the face, his entire army. Now, Hydralisk Den here, there will be a Hydralisk bust. This makes sense with Soma's third base being so far forward and having this extra Ling control here on the map. He's got quite a bit of map control here. He knows that his opponent is very far ahead. It's going to be incredibly difficult to win this in a late game. No, the probe sneaks by. Everything going wrong here for Soma. There's no layer. And a Hydralisk Den on the way. It's been revealed. YSC, he only needs to make a second forge here, throw down some extra cannons, put on that Zealot aggression. He should be 100% fine. This is really, really rough for Soma. I feel so bad for him right now. Everything has gone wrong, but I guess this is a good thing. Maybe we'll end up seeing another game. YSC versus Sulky. I think that should be even more lopsided if I had to predict, but it's not over yet. Soma still has a lot of play here. He's building these Hydras. He can just kill this wall and retreat. It's a reasonable way to transition out of an early Hydralisk attack, is just to pick off these buildings in the wall and then get away. That might be his plan here. For now, he's just going to start hitting this gateway and defending back at home with Hydra. Just keep these overlords alive. Fourth base on the way for Soma, so he's going to take a risk off of just straight up hatchery tech, no layer. Try to pick up a fourth base. We'll see how that goes for him. The gateway has been picked off. Looks like one overlord will end up going down, but the Corsair takes quite a bit of damage. It's not much use really anymore. Only can maybe pick off some overlords out on the map somewhere that no Hydras are present and scout around. He should be able to find this 4th base. That is a really big find. There we go. 4th base has been spotted, so he does cancel some cannons there that we're building at the front. Only 4 cannons. The total investment here from YSE. He's going to throw down a bunch of gateways now and prepare for a huge timing attack with a ton of zealots. There will be no lurkers available for Soma. He'll have to battle this with just pure Hydralisk and some sunken colonies with a few lings in support. That is going to be it. He'll have to as well deal with attacks at 3 different locations. His 4th base, his 3rd base, and that natural. So plenty of places to defend here. It's going to be tough. We'll see how he tries to hold on. Should be lurker upgrade being researched right now for Soma. The lair is now done. This is an incredible number of gateways here, so expect 7 or 8 rallied zealots just coming out wave after wave here once the original group pushes out. Those reinforcements will be coming hard and fast. Here we go. The first attack coming out. +1 is done. +1 armor should be on the way as well. That overlord at the front will be taken down. Everything being pushed back here for Soma. And he's trying to micro the best he can, but this is a crazy number of zealots. He's not behind the wall here. Zealots hitting these bottom Hydras and everything having to split up here. This is going to get out of control very, very quickly. Drones being pulled. Zealots on top of a lot of these Hydras. And I don't think that Soma can hold on right now. He's doing a pretty good job at stopping the Zealots from hitting that the Hydras at that 3rd base, but Zealots make it into the main. There you go. Another 7 Zealots running up across the map. The reinforcements here, the rallies being sent up very quickly. This group of Hydras completely forgotten about the top part of the map. There we go. Someone going to bring them back now to join this fight. 3rd base Hydras have been defeated. Main base being ransacked here. Another round of Zealots making their way into the 3rd base. This hatchery should go down. Hydras finally coming back, going to save the natural, but another group of Zealots running up here from the 3rd base, going to dive on top of this ramp, pick off all of these Hydras, and with that, this game has gone completely out of control. Soma is in a terribly messy state here as he tries to just produce as many Hydras as possible. He actually manages to clean up these Zealots, which is insane. I would have absolutely broken long before this point. It's so hard to move your drones all over the place, defend properly, and rally out these Hydras, control the Hydras properly as well. There's just so much going on. He's going to focus down this 3rd base, but miraculous hold here from Soma in the end. He just barely manages to keep himself alive. That +1 armor is done. Templar are coming out. He can still mine from the 3rd base, though it's not optimal. He will be throwing down another hatchery. That's kind of limiting his production at the moment. He doesn't have much in terms of Zealots at that 3rd base, so he's going to send things around, make sure that he can defend that location. Good cutting off of this group of Zealots, but quickly diving in here, gonna snipe the evolution chamber and run away. Great move there by YSC, just snapping that evolution chamber. Gonna stop those upgrades from progressing here, while his own upgrades coming along 2 at a time. Oh, that one's not spinning. So maybe forgetting the upgrades just a little bit there. Dragoons have already been produced though. Storms are on the way. No lurkers just yet for Soma. Just trying to stabilize really here at the moment. Only 80 supply on the board. Another extractor coming down, so he should be getting ready to transition into that lurker play. But he's not quite ready yet. Overlord speed is done, tracking this army with that Overlord, making sure he knows where the army is at all times here. Soma preparing for this attack. First storm has been cast. Not the greatest. Second storm as well. Dodged very nicely by Soma, but the Archon has been produced. Here comes that attack. Good pick off on that first Templar. But quite a few Hydras had to be sacrificed in that defense. Another good storm comes down. 2 more sunken colonies are being made, but it's just not going to be in time. So many storms being thrown down here, and there's still yet more storms to be used. More Hydras than, or more Dragoons than Hydras are available at this point, and Zealots are being rallied up 7 at a time. GG is called. Soma taps out, and YSC takes a game. Very nice. A good clap from KCM. Thumbs up too. Wow, big ups to YSC for flipping the tables there and actually taking a game from a underdog slot there. Underdog YSC actually upsets Soma and takes it to a final game. We're going to go into game 8, guys. That's going to be YSC versus Sulky. Don't go away. Hopping now into our final game. It's going to be on Ascension. Thank you so much for joining me here today, guys. This is game number 8, the final game of our series. And the final week of our main event here, KCM. Next will be the semifinals, and then the finals the teams will be announced, or the matchup will be announced at the end of this video, guys. So definitely stick around for that. Find out if it's going to be a Zerg versus Protoss, Protoss versus Zerg, Zerg versus Terran. We'll see when those final points are counted. Here comes that hatchery. Sulky here. Again, huge favorite. I would say even bigger of a favorite than Soma was against YSE. He started with that 12 hatch. YSE looks like a gateway first once again, so he's going to stick with this. See if he can get some more damage like he did in that last game, in that previous game. Pick off some drones. Could happen. I don't think Sulky's going to let that happen, but we'll see how the micro turns out here. Extractor on the way already. No third base just yet from Sulky, so probably wants to get that Ling speed here in the early game, if I had to guess. Just wants to get that out as soon as possible. Make sure that he's ready to fight against these early Zealots. Maybe even get a counterattack going. Should YSC overcommit and lose those early Zealots, you can switch the aggression over to the Protoss side of things and change the game very, very quickly. A third base in the middle. Wow. Sulky, this is a very interesting third base to take. You don't generally see this base getting taken on this map. And for good reason. It's a lot closer to your opponent. It's very wide open. There's not really a good way to wall this in as far as I know, but maybe Sulky knows some tricks here that can help him to keep this base alive and protect those drones in that mid game against the Zealot timing attack. Whoa, very quick probe snipe there. YSC sends that probe into fight alongside the Zealots, ends up losing it immediately, and gonna take this fight now as the third Zealot arrives. Not the greatest. He's trying to get us around here, but the hatchery is getting very low, 100 HP. We'll have to engage here pretty soon. This engage not looking good for Sulky. Kind of coming in one by one there, and YSC is doing an amazing job of controlling here. He's killed almost every single Zergling. Here's the Zergling, or the Zergling speed finishes up. One of these Zealots is incredibly low. He's gonna finish it. No, 7 HP. Oh god, 7 HP. Hatchery is getting so low. Where are these Lings? The Lings are not going to make it here in time. YSC picks off the hatch. That is a massive moment here for our Protoss player. Picking off that hatch. Fantastic. You rarely ever hear KCM use an English word, but I think he did just there. Looks like these Zealots will eventually be surrounded, but the damage is done. He did an excellent job killing off these Lings, and he finished off the third hatchery. A Hydra Den is coming now, and this is the last hope really for Sulky. Can he just pop out some Hydras, come across the map, and take a quick win? He doesn't have the drone count to do anything else, so it'll have to be this all-in. If YSC builds 3 cannons right now, he wins the game 100%, I think. We've got a layer here. Will it be a drop? Maybe he goes lurker drop in this situation. This is... I mean, it doesn't get worse than this for the Zerg player. There's really no great response here. There's no real good answers to this situation that Sulky finds himself in. Everything that I kind of come out with as an example, I think, is going to be pretty clearly a bad idea. Whether it's a lurker drop or 2 hatch Hydra or just a Hydra bust, everything is bad from this situation. So Sulky's gonna try his best here. I think he's actually morphing lurkers on the other side of the map right now. He's gonna finish off these Zealots, which is great. There are 2 cannons being built in the main, so lurker drop really wouldn't do much. We've got lurkers here at the front. Maybe he can pick off this wall with the lurkers and then dive on the cannon. That might be his plan here. Or is he just going to go for the dive directly? He jumps right on forward on top of this, and he dives on the cannon. Cannon goes down. Lurkers are still alive. There's no detection here. Brilliant play by Sulky, diving on those cannons. So unfortunate for YSC that he didn't have his Zealots in that wall. He barely didn't have that blocked, and GG is called. Sulky with a quick win there. Wow, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Guys, let's go back just for a second. Look at this fail here with these Lings. Oh my goodness. YSC, you're so close, bud. There's a tiny little gap there. One probe could have won this game for YSC here, but this damn Zealot not in the right position, not able to block that entire gap there. All of these Lings just run straight through, and that is all she wrote. Once those 2 cannons go down, there is nothing to detect here, and a GG had to be called. Wow, what a strange game there. What a throw from YSC, who absolutely outplayed Sulky in that early game with the early Zealots, but just couldn't bring himself to a win here. Yikes, that is rather unfortunate. All right, guys, here are the point rankings. Just about wraps things up for our KCM group stages, our weeks 8 weeks of KCM have completed. Zerg, of course, in that top spot with 11 points. Protoss following up with 8, and Terran with 5. Pretty rough last 3 weeks there for the Terran race. They're going to get another chance, though. It's going to be Protoss versus Terran in the semifinals here. And then whoever takes that victory will go on to the finals. That's it, guys. KCM is over for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to support what I do, if you want to check out some of the other things I'm into, go ahead and click the link down below. That Patreon can support for just $5 or more per month. Get access to all the things, just in case I also get banned once again. By the way, definitely click the link for the Discord, join that Discord or the Patreon page. Then you'll always be up to date on what is going on. And should the worst happen, you'll always be able to find my videos. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.